俄乌战永久改变了欧洲，尤其永久了改变一些中立国家。在这场战争里头，在俄罗斯旁边的邻国，包括中立200年的瑞典，正式加入了北约。我们为大家播出一个珍贵的纪录片的一些部分，叫做《普丁的残局》。团队呢，采访团队特别登上了瑞典的舰艇，见证放弃中立、加入北约的芬兰、瑞典，他们执行首次任务的过程，而了解到底是恐俄症，还是真正的一个俄罗斯威胁真的在欧洲出现了？为何这些长期200年的中立国，第一次大战没有参与，二次大战没有参与，在19世纪的好几次大战里头也都没有参与，他们却参与了北约，在这个时刻是什么原因？而这一次呢，泽连斯基在白宫和川普吵架，他不是一个川普和泽连斯基外交挫败，更重要的是他让所有沉睡的欧洲都醒过来。没有美国的支持，欧洲没有能力面对俄罗斯。而我会是下一个乌克兰吗？过去很多人在2022年的时候不断的说这个问题是你台湾的问题，现在大多数的人都同意它不是台湾的问题，它是波罗的海3小国都提出这个问题。而俄乌战争以后的变动里头，除了我们刚刚讲的瑞典之外，还包括芬兰也加入了北约。在这场战争里头有很多诈术，比如说炸掉了北溪2号，这可能是美国干的，也可能是乌克兰干的，或者美国掩护乌克兰2个一起干的。另外呢，还有好几个部分，像比如说切海底电缆、干扰 GPS 等等，然后欧、俄、美分别指控对方发动混合战术，所以你可以看到这场战争里头，它除了传统的战争，还用了很多卑劣的手段，所以大家非赢不可。所以美国驻乌克兰的前大使就提到说，这一次的战争跟后来的停火谈判的过程当中，是普丁在测试北约的底线。而当他测试北约底线，他就看到了当川普撤军的时刻，欧洲全部都醒过来，吓醒了。他不是乖乖的醒过来，因为他武装自备，可能也统统都来不及。而川普在这一次呢，到底扮演的是丘吉尔的角色。他最后像雅尔达密约一样，在里头提议一些重大的主张，最终结束了2次世界大战。还是他是张伯伦？张伯伦是丘吉尔之前的首相，他和希特勒签了一个绥靖政策的和平协议，一直到后来希特勒打到了丹麦，回过头来开始打比利时、法国的时候，英国才醒过来。本来大家都把掌声给了张伯伦，嘘声给了丘吉尔。丘吉尔说：“你被骗了，你不了解希特勒。”所以现在到底是川普被普丁所骗，还是川普是一个结束第3次世界大战的那个伟大的了不起的人？但是更重要的一个问题是，没有美国的支持会如何？是这一个纪录片《普丁的残局》里头问的一个问题。而这里头最重要的一个国家就是 Latvia， 它可以说是未来欧洲的见证。
What happens to Estonia if Putin wins Ukraine?
We never thought about it, actually.
Why?
I don't know.
It's terrifying to think about this.
Yes, and the part of our brain is just blocking
This scary thought.
They're scared to death of the question that I asked them, to be honest with you, John, because they don't know what's going to happen, but what they do know is that Putin is right across that river.
他就是纪录片的采访者凯文·蒂博斯。
We're in the town of Narva, which is just across the river, Narva River, from Russia. Putin has already said that he wants to retake Narva. But what is also interesting here is the fact that the Soviet Union took Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, the Baltic nations during the Second World War. They either murdered anyone who was in any position, or they deported people to Siberia to perhaps die in labor camps working for the Soviets. So the memories of that history are very strong. But you can also tell on the faces of those two young boys that they're scared to death.
Standing tall on NATO's Eastern Front. A European armada on alert for threats to its economic lifelines.
在这支名为《普丁的残局》纪录片中，采访团队登上了波罗的海瑞典巡逻舰，见证放弃中立、新加入北约的芬兰与瑞典参与北约后的首次任务。
After Russia's large-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, both countries chose to abandon their longtime stances as neutral, non-aligned nations for the sake of security. Lieutenant Commander Jonas Lofgren is the Sundsvall's captain.
Something that wasn't going to happen did actually happen, that Russia invaded one of their neighbors. So it was quite a awakening for the whole Swedish society and of course the Swedish armed forces.
Bit of a shock.
Yeah, absolutely.
在采访过程中，更令他们惊讶的是，俄罗斯势力的无孔不入。
The Finnish government and Finnish authorities have been dealing with an incident in the Baltic Sea whereby 4 cables have been broken.
The Eagle S, a tanker suspected of being part of Russia's shadow fleet, skirting Western sanctions by covertly transporting Russian crude oil, is accused of dragging its anchor and cutting cables, including electricity cables, between Estonia and Finland. The Finnish Navy halted and boarded the ship, which, according to some reports, was outfitted with electronic spy gear.
It's too soon to draw conclusions yet why this happened. We know who did it.
不仅如此，
Russia has been using hybrid tactics here too, flooding Finnish towns by forcing migrants across the border, overwhelming the system. Migrants on children's bicycles who had no idea where they were or what they were being forced to do. The Finns, used to Russia's game playing, put down a marker of their own, closing all their land borders with Russia.
That is what is called a hybrid war, that Russia has been testing the alliance to see what to do.
然而一直以来，北约的回应一步步助长了俄罗斯的气焰。
The former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine is John Herbst. He is now the senior director of the Atlantic Council's Eurasia Center. He would like to see a more vigorous response from NATO and the United States.
Putin will wait and see how NATO, led by the United States, reacts. We've seen a real uptick in Russian sabotage operations in Europe, and even an effort to put bombs on a DHL plane heading to the United States. No response from NATO. That's a serious, serious failure of will and of policy. So Putin's already playing with NATO's deterrence right now. Those games will grow in severity and in frequency.
在所有北约国家中，最焦虑的是波罗的海3小国：爱沙尼亚、拉脱维亚和立陶宛。这3小国曾在2战中先后被纳粹和苏联占领，人民或遭屠杀，或被流放到西伯利亚劳改。他们担心，万一这一次乌克兰输了，他们会是俄罗斯下一个对付的目标。
In the end, the Estonian foreign minister said to us that this is Donald Trump's Churchill moment. Does Donald Trump want to be seen as someone who perhaps stopped the Third World War, stopped the invasion of the other side? If Vladimir Putin is really trying to recreate some imperial/Soviet-style Russia, I mean, these people in the Baltic nations know exactly what that's like because it's their relatives who were sent to Siberian labor camps. So they are looking to the United States, and the events of this past week, I think, have probably scared the living daylights out of them.
Latvia is a nation whose past and present speaks to Europe's future. Images of the Ukraine war are plastered on Riga's Museum of the Occupation, which documents their time under Nazi and Soviet rule. Latvians know all too well about being caught between 2 larger powers, surrounded by threats on all sides. Can Europe stand alone without US support? They want to, but no, history is not on their side.